So I'm going to assume that you've just watched the video of me performing June Is Her into that mirror there. So now I thought this is probably one of the most personal, most piercing, like most vulnerable, and exposing maybe is the right word, kind of songs I've ever written. So the last thing I want to do is explain the lyrics. So in my head then goes, okay, so that means that that's exactly what you have to do. I have a belief that if you want to write a song that is true, okay, so I think it's really easy to quantify a song either by whether you like it or not, or whether you think it's good or not, and that's a really dangerous work, because the entire appeal of art should be that it's subjective. The only let's say anchor of any kind of objectivity, things that you can walk away from knowing that they're going to stay the same. Like, you don't have to care like about numbers. You can say their numbers demand your respect because they don't change. If I'm here, 2 add 2 will equal 4. If I walk over there for 1,000 years and come back, it's still 4. Meaning if I said it's 5, it's wrong. And if you said it's 4, you're right. That's so easy. Not in the actual maths, although the maths should be fucking easy. But I mean, it's so easy that we don't have to attach ourselves to it. We don't have. It's like we're all control freaks at heart because we don't want to be hurt, or we don't want to be deceived. So we kind of observe everything quietly. Like, do I have to still keep an eye on that thing? But we don't have to with numbers. And that same sort of desire, that the appeal of that objective life tries to translate itself to subjective parts of life, neglecting that the reason we enjoy these things, briefly labelled as art, is because they are subjective. That's the whole appeal. But if you are a songwriter and your brain is still so hugely conditioned to rights and wrongs and yes and no's and ticks and crosses and grades, I've found the one moral anchor thing is true or fate. In that, are you writing it for a truthful reason or some kind of cynical reason or insecure reason, maybe? The 3 things that I've realised are kind of you can pretty much rely on to be truthful are things that really anger you, topics that really scare you, and then topics that really interest you. If you are writing from any of these places, even better if it's something that's written from all 3. For example, time as an idea is written in for all 3. It really interests me, scares the absolute shit out of me, and I'm always angry at time. Either too much or not enough. So if I'm writing about time, I know that I have 3 sincere, truthful places to write from. So I can, if I don't quite know what I'm writing about, or if it's demanding too much of me, I know that I can step away from it, and when I come back, it's still going to be what it is. So with that out of the way, that's the main reason that this song exists, June Is Her, even though people probably don't know what it's about, because I was quite intentionally poetically ambiguous, let's say. Like, if you were to know what it's about, then I explain the lyrics, everything makes sense. But if you're just listening to it on first listen, it's not entirely easy to understand that it is about what it's about. Take like Flume by Bon Iver. I sung that song for like 4 years before I actually understood that it was about his mother. So the song was originally called Quiet Mind, and it's because the chorus was, half the time when someone talks to me, I feel like a clean slate, but I can never tell you what they say, because I think you'll find all I want to talk about is my desire for a quiet mind. That set of lyrics I always thought was so good, and that stayed for like 2.5 years. And then I eventually thought, okay, maybe I should try and change something about it. And then I tried changing this song a shit ton of times, but my brain just kept coming back to this theme, that this guitar, it just always resembled some kind of like vulnerability in terms of connection with people. Either you connect and you pretend to like it when in reality it scares you, or you feel numb by it, or you are so terrified by it that you don't try and do it. I was a bit of both. So by May, I just wanted to get this song done somehow, and I thought of Jupiter, then the name Juniper, and I went, I don't know what Juniper even is, and then I was like, June is her, and it was in May, and it was just kind of like something clicked in my brain, and I was like, okay, it's May, June is her, So what is she? Her is June. Who is she? And she is the person, the hypothetical person that I want to connect with, that I'm struggling in some way to. So the whole song is basically about, instead of it being a desire for a quiet mind, even though that is kind of still a focal point in that lyric, is still in the song, I think, but it turns into a desire for a quiet mind so I can connect without overthinking things. A lot of people have just said, like, you just need to stop thinking. You just need to chill. You just need to relax. You just need to just do this, just do that, whatever. You just need to not think. What? Okay, I'll think about it. Fuck. So it's because you have to think about it to understand why someone says don't. But if you already have, and you've already lost, you've already done the thing. So yeah, so this song was basically, it was really bothering me because I felt like I care about people a lot. I care about connections a lot. I care about trying to have true, honest connections a lot. And if I was to like think about me and like a couple of friends, I was right down at the bottom of ability to connect with girls in like a more romantic or sexual kind of way, and bottom of the list in terms of, to say like frequency doesn't mean good, but I was still at the bottom of that list too. And I was thinking, how am I the one that seems to be craving it the most and I'm the worst at it? So the song just kind of became this spew of thoughts and fears about this topic. June is her, I'll be ruined. That is kind of the main thing that keeps going back and forth, and it's imagining that it doesn't go well, and then, you know, like she's going around telling all her friends like, oh, Joe wasn't very good or whatever. And so again, like, it's a tiny fear in my brain, but it's still a fear. So it was June is her, I'll be ruined, and that's kind of just the thing that keeps looping it back. So I can elaborate into whatever direction I want for each verse, but it always comes back to, yeah, but I'll be ruined, won't I? Again, I'm not necessarily saying that I agree or believe with the mindsets presented in the song. The idea is they are the mindsets. They could be like toxic or unsustainable mindsets, but I'm just trying to voice how my brain actually feels about the things, instead of saying like, but don't be like this, be like that. And I'm like, but I'm not like that, am I? I'm fucking like this. It's either this or be in denial that I feel this, which will kind of morph into its own little ugly thing anyway, so I might as well just accept it and write about it. I'm not going to explain the lyrics, I can't be bothered. But there you go. There's a little bit of backstory for June is her. So now that you know my mindset for the song, listen to it again and see if everything makes sense.